So, I mean, I try and keep it that way. Like, I don't want to sort of give people the wrong impression of who I am, like, on the internet as opposed to being in person.
I would say it is simply because of the fact that you get tagged in photos you're in, and that kind of like over time builds like a profile of who you are. You know, if you go to parties and you're tagged in 300 parties, they'll know that you love to go out, you know, and like if you're tagged in a classroom like messing around, they probably know you're always studying, you know. So
If you're never on Facebook.
yeah, if you haven't checked if it's got like reconnect with Sam, have you seen that thing? It's
Yeah.
like
Yeah,
you
it's a
talk to
great
somebody in
exercise.
like 5 years, you know they don't have Facebook anymore. So, you know they don't care. Actually, I had a friend that had that, and they had 300 wall posts. I'm like, hey, where are you? And he just didn't. He just laughed when I told him. He was like, I never check that anymore.
Okay, so our next question is, have you ever used Facebook or Twitter or any other social networking sites to get in contact with a complete stranger? If so, what was the reason for getting in contact with them?
So another prime example would be chat roulette. Have you guys heard of that?
Oh, it happens.
That's so
Oh god.
So like, that is like that is seriously just meeting like complete random strangers for any of you who don't know that.
You don't know what's going to be
You're
there.
exposed to- yeah, you're exposed to people, but then you're also exposed to other things. But have you? Yeah.
I've had friends like put it on, and at first I'm really weirded out by it. Like, it's really bizarre that you can, like, it's just so. I just think it's so bizarre that you can go onto the internet and like go to somebody else who's also wanting to meet random people and like go on this, and you can do it forever. And at first it like really weirds me out, but then I do it for a while, and I kind of like get closer, and the next thing I'm like sitting next to them, I'm like, this is so bizarre, and like. I don't know. It's really weird. I think it's not the safest way to meet people. Or
You know,
yeah, and it's
that-
not. It's
yeah.
just. It's like I guess it's something like fun to do with your friends, like randomly. You're never gonna talk to the people again or whatever if it's like raining outside and you don't want to take the bus somewhere.
I think
I don't know.
there's a place on Facebook. Some people use Facebook, and I know like weird people that use it just for the sake of like stalking and looking at other people's photos. And I feel like that chat roulette, but really like chat roulette, I feel like is an excuse for those people to have something directly for them.
So they actually.
You know, it's just some random
who
anonymous
they're
thing that you can actually interact with people, and so it's like some weird. I don't really
But
know what it is.
this-
I guess one thing unique about Facebook, I've used other social like networking sites like Friendster, where you can actually view like who's viewing your profile, which is a little bit like, as for Facebook, there is that element of like secrecy of like you don't have to know who's like viewing
They
your
used to have.
Yeah, they used to,
They-
but they've taken that out, and it's kind of made a big difference as far as like like they're attracting their users.
My friend has a JDate account.
What is
And JDate is a dating site for mostly Jewish people, and it's like really bizarre because it's the same. You can look and see who's viewing you. You get like obviously it's different because it's a dating site, but it's just so weird. You can be put on like a hot list and like chat with people, and it's just so no, it's okay. It's just like really bizarre. That it's like you would want to be on a website. I think it's different because you're dating. It's a dating website, but still, it's like it's so creepy. It's like Stalker Central. It's so bizarre.
And is it? I know like everyone's like innately curious. You know, like do you ever have that urge to just kind of just be like, well, this looks cool, and like kind of like talk to them or like kind of.
I always feel creepy.
Yeah.
If like, even if it's like my newsfeed and it's like somebody I haven't talked to, I feel like I'm violating them by like looking at like what their post is because I like haven't talked to them. So it shouldn't be really any of my business. That's
I think it's
what
also
about.
like a cultural like difference too, because I just learned yesterday that a lot of people from Asia, they're comfortable just like befriending somebody they just had met. Like, you know, like if I had met you through Eric like mutually, but it's not like, you know, that one time, like I'd feel comfortable just adding you as a friend. And it's like a norm for like a lot of people there. As opposed to here, it's like if you were to befriend somebody or somebody added you as a friend and you just met them once, you feel like a little bit like weirded out perhaps. And so I
I was just gonna say, like, I do that but mainly it's with people like, again, to like the business side of things, where like working in groups, like if I meet like you and you are like, you know somebody that I'm working with, I might friend you just for the sake of like, okay, if she needs to get in contact with me at some point, and she doesn't have my phone number, so like she could Facebook message me later, just because like Facebook is like an instant means of like connecting like that and getting messages because people check it so much that like I kind of just add that person just for the sake of like, okay, we are in connection somehow in this way, not to like, because I don't really have an interest in like adding that person, you know, as far as friendship based, it's just for communication, you know, so I can kind of understand why people in Asia would do that, or China, you said? Or? Asia, okay, yeah.
I think one aspect like we haven't really talked about is like I just think this is so bizarre. I've kind of said this to like Paul and Tina, how it's so bizarre how Facebook and MySpace has changed dating and flirting. Like if in that case more like I've met guys once or like whatever and they'll friend me and then be like, oh, we should go get coffee or do something. But it's like with Facebook, otherwise that would never happen. Like I would probably never see them again. So it's like really bizarre. Yeah, I'm like poking. It's like flirting, and it's just if you start dating somebody and they kind of like want to mark you, they can like write all over your wall and like your photos.
Relationship style.
Yeah, it's just like so weird how it's changed this entire like dating game and like courting and all that. It's just
Yeah, it's really weird how Facebook's affected people's actual like real personal life with somebody. Like concept of like sending roses to your girlfriend on Facebook on Valentine's Day is like, I just think it's like really pathetic to like. And then if like something happens on Facebook, it like changes your relationship with that person like in person so dramatically that you're like arguing with that person because their wall post comment was, you know, and all that junk. It's like. Yeah.
Start a notification of just like in a relationship with so and so. You have like 30 comments.
Yeah, that's why I hear about that stuff all the time. I'm just like, that's why I just keep it strict to like business stuff because like I don't even want to like deal with like, I saw your photo of the beach, like you didn't take me, like all this stuff. It's like, it's just
Well,
really
you're talking about business settings and stuff like that. There's also LinkedIn. Have you looked into that?
I've heard of that too, but like, I don't
That's
want.
like strictly like professional networks.
Yeah, I don't want to jump into another. Like, I've had Facebook for so long that I thought about doing that, but everybody I work with has Facebook already, so it's like, alright, like, we're all in this social networking right now, let's just, like, stick with it. Especially if we're all using it for the same means.
So if like still on the topic of privacy, like what would you suggest like to improve it, like in any of the media sites, or do you feel like it's sufficient now?
I think it's pretty good.
Yeah.
it's pretty good, but you can never prevent everything. So if you're really that concerned, I think you just wouldn't use it.
I think it's really good. I just don't like. I don't remember if they always did this with Facebook. Have they always had the homepage like display everybody's stuff?
Yeah, I think so.
Has it? Okay.
Or
'cause
like
I
the
don't-
newsfeed at least.
Yeah, I don't like. I think they should take that away simply because it's like. I feel like if you're using Facebook to get in touch with the people you really want to get in touch with, you shouldn't be subjected to like seeing everybody's like.
You can
sent to-
change settings. Like
Yeah,
that.
Okay,
there's
well
like
then,
the
yeah.
Categorize people.
Okay.
like these
Okay,
are your
yeah.
feed, and that's the one. Like I think
Yeah.
it knows what people's profiles you look at, kind of like tracks that, or like not that, but like your comments on whose stuff you comment on, because
Uh-huh.
those are the people who like I talk to the most. Their stuff is always on my.
Yeah.
So it's like nice because I only have to like look at theirs and not other people's.
Yeah, maybe it's just because I haven't done the settings, but I just noticed that. And I was like, I don't really care what like this person is sending
Yeah.
to another person on some video game or like. You know.
Okay, so our next question is, do you adjust certain privacy settings for a particular group of people, and why? Do you set different settings for each social